Starting lineup for Hamilton Southeastern in tonight's second game.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Dunker Field in Noblesville, Indiana, for today's broadcast of IHSAA Baseball on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. We're just about ready to get underway here. Let's turn things over to the PA announcer, Rich Harden. He's got the opening lineups for us. Rich?
Batting fourth in center field, number 23, Brock Burns. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Grayson Drosty, who's batting for tonight's starting pitcher, number 10, Grayson Rekoff. Batting sixth, left fielder, number 12, Jacob Daftari. Batting seventh, at third base, number 5, Jack Lang. Batting eighth and catching, number 6, Tyler Seaback. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 1, Jacob Garcia. Head coach for the Royals, Mr. Scott Henson. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay. All right. Your starting lineup for your Noblesville Millers. Leading off, number 4 at shortstop, Travis Gillian. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 13, DJ Owens. Owens is batting for second baseman, number 1, Jackson Ramey. Batting third, number 2, the catcher, Alex Cleverly. Batting fourth at first base, number 5, Bryce Masterson. Batting fifth and pitching, number 17, Reese Sharp. Batting sixth in right field, number 3, Mark Gowdy. Batting seventh in left field, number 9, Zach Tuane. Batting eighth at third base, number 22, Cooper Miles. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 20, Harris Camp.
So there you have it.
By head coach Justin Keever.
The starting lineup for the Noblesville Millers and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. This is game 2 of what turns out to be a doubleheader today. With the weather that we've had the last week or so, it has really wreaked havoc on the baseball schedules for everybody in central Indiana. So the Royals and the Millers were forced to play a doubleheader today. In the first game, the Millers got 9 runs in the fourth inning and ended up beating the Royals 13-3. 13 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Millers, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Royals. So in this series right now, the Millers are ahead 1-0. We'd like to thank all of our great sponsors here in Hamilton County Television. They include, in addition to Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Wofford Theaters with Movies on the Road, Community Health, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Mark Hairbrand, the Bold and Sassy Salon. That is the official styling salon of Jim and Will Wofford, Indiana Restoration, and Yancey Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. My name is Brad Silbert. Welcome aboard here. We are at Hazeldell Elementary School at Don Dunker Field here for the Millers and the Royals. Right now it's 55 degrees with a Pretty strong wind out of the northwest, right blowing across the field, left to right at about 21 miles per hour. I was remarking to Coach Keever just a little bit ago on how wonderful the condition of this field is today. You take a look at it, and you see no signs of wetness on this field whatsoever. And here in south central Hamilton County, in the last several days, we've had in excess of 5 to 8 inches of rain. So the rain has come down, but the crew here at Noblesville has done just a fantastic job of getting this field in condition for this game today. The third game in this series, rather than being played, we were supposed to play, obviously, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. It will be played on Monday at Hamilton Southeastern. Here's the first pitch of the game. A little bit low and inside to Dalton Hutchinson. He steps in batting .404, leading hitter for the Royals. Reese Sharp comes in with a 4-2 record, a 2.80 ERA. Hutchinson swings, fouls that one back toward the Royals dugout on the first base side, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a high pop foul. Will that stay in play? No. Moves the count to 1-2. Hutchinson struck out, had a 2-base hit, a walk, a stolen base, and a pop out to the second baseman in the first game today. The 1-2 pitch from Sharp, fouled back once again. The Royals without their catcher, Trenton Schneider. He's been sick all week, so Tyler Sivak will be sitting in for him tonight. 1-2 pitch on the way from Sharp. Another foul ball back to the right side. Very windy and very cool out there. It's a little bit, it fools you just a little bit because it's so bright and sunny. But that 21-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest just almost goes straight through you. Hutchinson calls for timeout, gets it. Right up there on the front of that batter's box, almost totally over the plate. 1-2 pitch is a little bit high, evens up the count at 2-2. That one's a little bit low. Hutchinson has worked it to a full count against Reese Sharp. Defensively for the Millers, Zach Turner, Harris Camp, and Mark Gowdy. Left, center, and right. Cooper Miles, Travis Gilliam, Jackson Ramey, and Bryce Masterson. Third to first. The battery, Alex Cleverly. The pitcher, Reese Sharp. There's a grounder. That's going to probably get through there, which it does. And Dalton Hutchinson leads off the first for the Royals with a base hit. Royals gave up 9 runs in the fourth inning of the first game on 2 hits. Walks and hit batsmen really hurt the Royals in that 9-run inning. First baseman Owen Callahan steps in. Not a big lead for Hutchinson at first. There's a nice bunt right out in front of the plate. Going to have to hurry to make the play at first. He does. Cleverly, that ball died in the grass, and Cleverly had a hard time picking it up, but he did manage to get it to the first baseman in time for the out, for the sacrifice. But on the play, Hutchinson is in scoring position at second base. Right fielder Tyler Jahansashi steps in. Little bit inside, ball 1. Sharp whirls and was going to throw to second, but there was nobody there. Hutchinson's getting a pretty good lead off a second. The outfield is shaded toward right for Jahanchashi. There's a strike over the outside corner. Left center field is wide open for Tyler. If he can put one into left center field, certainly Hutchinson would score, and Jahanchashi could probably end up with a double. The 1-1 pitch from Sharp. That one's over the outside corner of the plate, just about belt high for a strike. Jahanchashi thought about swinging at that, but held up, and the pitch was called a strike. That one's over the outside corner, same place, same result. The difference is Jahanchashi is called out on strikes. Second out of the inning, that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, center fielder Brock Burns. Burns batting .302 on the season. Burns is a younger brother of Brendan Burns, who is a pitcher at Ball State University. Brock will also be at Ball State University this fall playing football. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Sharp. That one's a little low and outside. He falls behind Burns 2-0. The 2-0 pitch is a little bit low. Not necessarily a bad situation here for Sharp. If he does walk Burns, he gets a force at any of the three bases. So that one's over the outside corner for a called strike, 3-1. Burns taking all the way on that pitch. A little bit outside. 2 on, 2 out. Brings up the designated hitter Grayson Drosty.
Now batting for Hamilton Southeastern, number 25.
Royals with 1 hit and 1 walk so far in this inning. The outfield is playing Drosty very, very shallow. Shaded over toward right field. Probably more because of the wind than anything else. First pitch from Sharp. If that stays fair, that's going to be into the gap, and it's not. It's a foul ball. That was fouled by about 5 feet or so. Drosty got out in front of that one. Got an off-speed pitch rather than a fastball on the first pitch. Just got out in front of it and poked it foul down the third base line. 0-1 on Grayson Drosty. Oh, 0-2 on Drosty now. Another nice off-speed pitch. Two on, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. There's a bounder going toward third base. Miles has got it. Gets it over to first base to Bryce Masterson for the out. So the Royals, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on the bases. In the middle of the first, no score. Due up for the Millers in the bottom of the first will be Travis Gilliam, DJ Owens, and Alex Cleverly. Fans, we would like to remind you that prom specials are available at Yancey's Final Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. They're doing business in Noblesville. They've been there for over 40 years. They're now located inside of Logan Street Signs and Banners. Enter on the north side door. You can give Dan a call at 317-773-2973. Yancey's Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. They guarantee the best prices around from $110 to $155. That includes everything. Once again, located inside Logan Street Signs and Banners at 1740 North 10th Street in Noblesville. So the Royals go down in the first inning without scoring. They did have one hit and one walk. For the Royals defensively, left to right, it will be Jacob Daftari in left field, Brock Burns in center, Tyler Jahanchashi in right, Jack Lang at third, Jacob Garcia at shortstop, Dalton Hutchinson at second, Owen Callahan at first, Tyler Sivak is catching. Said earlier that the normal catcher for the Royals, Trenton Schneider, has been ill and under the weather and has not been able to play all week. And Grayson Rykoff comes in. He's got a record of 1-2 for the Royals. First, Miller Hillface will be the shortstop, Travis Gilliam. A little high and outside. Another one high and outside from Rykoff. 2 balls, no strikes. Gilliam walked twice in the first inning, flew out to center, bounced out to third base. There's a high foul ball over to the right side, out of play. You can see the effect of the wind on the screen, on the fences out there. You can just see the rippling. It is very strong. Little outside. Count is at 3-2, full count. Here's the full count pitch. Inside. First batter for the Millers reaches on a walk. Walks are what killed the Royals in the first game this morning.
Next up for the Millers,
the designated hitter, number 13, DJ Owens, steps in. He's a .370 batter. Owens played second base in the first game today. Had a home run in the 5th inning. Reached on an error and 2 walks in the game.
You guys need to tell me what the pitch is. No, I'm good.
1-0 on Owens.
I think it was a fastball.
First 4 batters here in Justin Keevan's batting order. All batting upper 300s to lower 400s. A range of 370 to 415 for the first 4 batters. There's a strike over the outside corner. Evens up the count 1-1.
You just play with it. Yeah.
Rykoff goes back to first to Callahan. Gilliam is back in plenty of time. There's a strike right at the belt. Outside corner of the plate. Gilliam does have 4 stolen bases so far this season. Another strike looking. Caught Owens looking at a nice fastball over the outside corner of the plate. First out of the game for the Royals against the Millers. Catcher Alex Cleverly steps up to the plate.
Next up for the Millers,
batting .415. Cleverly having himself one heck of a good season. 1 home run, 8 RBIs so far this season. 1 double, no triples. 17 hits. The 1-0 pitch to Cleverly. Fouled straight back. Evens it up at 1-1. First baseman Bryce Masterson on deck. The 1-1 from Reichoff. Tried to float a curveball in there, but missed a little bit high. 2-1. Gilliam gets back at first in time. As a team, the Millers have got 27 stolen bases this season, compared to 45 for the Royals. There's one way outside. Sivak thought for a second there about throwing down to first because Gilliam had wandered a little far from first, but not too far. 3-1. And the catcher Cleverly. There's a pop foul. Brings it to a full count. Out of play to the right. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Over to second for 1. Missed on the first, or on the conversion, and it looks like Cleverly is going to end up at second. So Gilliam is out at second for the second out. Cleverly reaches on a fielder's choice, and there'll be an error charged on the throw to the second baseman since he advanced to second base. So Cleverly is on second. That'll bring up the first baseman, Bryce Masterson.
One less thing to worry about.
Yep. Didn't have to figure out when.
Trying to see if Cleverly is still out there at second base or if they put a courtesy runner in for him. First pitch to Masterson is a little bit low.
No way is that Cleverly.
The white numbers on the back of the gold uniforms on the Miller uniforms are just a little bit hard to read, but it doesn't appear that that's number 2 out there, but I cannot tell who it is. Foul back. Evens the count at 1-1.
It's 11.
That is number 11.
For the Millers, number 11, Tyler Owens.
Tyler Owen. Is a courtesy runner for Cleverly at second base. 2 outs. Little high. Yeah, that will be an error on the catcher on the throw, an E2, the second error of the inning. Allows Tyler Owens to reach third. Sivak just plain and simple overthrew Dalton Hutchinson there. Hutchinson jumped. That ball was a couple feet over his outstretched glove. Masterson with a chance to put the Millers on top here. That's a little bit outside 3-1. 2 errors in the inning so far. For the Royals. A little high. Masterson reaches on a walk. Second walk of the inning given up. That'll bring out the pitcher, Reese Sharp.
Next up for the Millers, number 17, Reese
Sharp, a good hitter for a pitcher, batting .263 on the season. Does have 1 home run, 6 RBIs, 2 doubles. Pitch is called a strike, and on the play, Masterson took second base. He will be credited with a stolen base since he took off with the pitch, even though there was no throw. Miller's with an opportunity here to put some runs on the board. Reese Sharp is down 0-2 now. 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the bottom of the first. No score in this game between the Royals and the Millers. Swing and a miss. Sharp goes down swinging for the third out of the inning. So in the inning for the Millers, there's no runs there. They did have 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 left on the bases. At the end of 1, still no score. You know, celebrating 25 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners. They've served Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Give them a call, 317-773-7200, or visit their brand-new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The 25th anniversary, Logan Street Signs and Banners. Old Jim Wofford, still in business. Good for him. We're through 1. There is no score. Both teams had opportunities to score in the first, but neither could put any runs across. The Royals will bring their 6, 7, and 8 batters up this inning against Reese Sharp. That will be Jacob Daftari, Jack Lang, and Tyler Sivak. Once again, 55 degrees here at Dunker Field. A wind out of the northwest at about 21 miles an hour. I think if it hadn't been for that wind, this field probably would not be quite as dry as it is right now. I see Tony Euler sitting behind me over here. He's going to hopefully join us here in a few minutes, and we'll get some words of wisdom from Mr. Cub fan there. We'll get some words of wisdom from Noblesville Athletic Director Tony Euler. Of course, Tony, you coached baseball for a few years, didn't you?
For Hamilton Southeastern.
He knows a little bit about the game. Jacob Daftari steps in, the left fielder for Coach Scott Henson. No score in the top of the second. Daftari, big swing and a miss, strike 1. Tony's sitting back there on his cell phone watching the Cubs and the Yankee game, I think.
Cubs are behind 3-0 in the first.
Wow. Of course, Tony was one of those lucky people that made the pilgrimage to Cleveland last fall and I was one of those who was very privileged to have him send me a picture of him there at the field in Cleveland. That's one of those bucket list moments, I'll tell you. There's a swing, and there's a nice little looper into right field. So Jacob Daftari is on base. The Royals have put the first batter on base once again. Did so in the first inning. That's their second hit of the game. Third baseman Jack Lang steps up to the plate, batting .292. Daftari getting a fairly reasonable lead out there at first. He's back in time. No stolen bases this season, but the Royals as a team have 45 stolen bases this season. Another throw to first by Sharp. First pitch to Lang is in there, knee high on the inside corner for a called strike.
It's just the white number. Exactly. I like the front. You can see exactly the number on the back.
There's a high pop up in right field. Right fielder Mark Gowdy was having a little trouble with that. I don't know if it was the wind or the sun, but he did manage to get it and made the play for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Tyler Sivak. Sivak was 0 for 3 in the first game today. Sharp taking his time with Daftari out there at first base. Right over the inside corner of the plate, belt high for a called strike. Nice pitch by Reese Sharp.
Yeah, he calls that batter's box on the left-hand end right.
That one's low and outside. Evens the count at 1-1. 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on. No score. Here in the top of the second. Second of 2 games today. Millers won the first one 13-3. There's a quick throw over to first. Daftari back in plenty of time. Sharp is really keeping an eye on Daftari over there at first. There's a line drive, and it's going to just drop in there. That's going to be a base hit for Tyler Sivak. When that ball left the bat, I thought that was going to go a little farther, and that Zach Turner might have a possible play on that ball, but he didn't. It dropped right in between him and Travis Gilliam. So the Royals have got runners on first and second with 1 out.
Number 16, Anthony Eggers.
Anthony Eggers is the courtesy runner for Sivak. Garcia steps in, batting .219. Is shallow as Turner was playing out there in left field. I thought he might have a play on that ball, but I think the wind may have held that up just a little bit. Outfielders are definitely playing more toward the right, taking that strong 21-mile-an-hour crosswind into effect. The 0-1 pitch up over his head evens the count at 1-1. 2-1. Sharp, one of the younger members of this Miller squad, a sophomore. Millers right now are overall 12-8. The Royals 11-7. There's a shot into center field. Third base coach has got him. Good play there by Harris Camp. Got that ball into the relay man and got it into Alex Cleverly to get the tag on Jacob Daftari for the second out. So there are 2 outs. Garcia officially gets a base hit for the third hit of the inning. Anthony Eggers is now on second, but that brings up the top of the order, Dalton Hutchinson. He had a single his first time up in the first inning. Royals with 3 hits this inning, but nothing on the board yet.
He says they lost every first-round match.
That doesn't get you far in the conference tournament. That knocks you down to what, 4th place?
I think had that play happened when there were 2 outs, I think Daftari might have had a better chance to score because he had to kind of hold there at second to make sure that Harris Camp wasn't going to catch that ball before he took off. But Camp made a really, really nice throw into the cutoff man, and then the relay to the catcher Cleverly was right on the money, and Daftari was dead meat at home base. 0-1. That one's outside. Two balls and a strike. And Dalton Hutchinson. There's a well-hit ball over to the right field side. Gowdy is chasing it, but it does go out of the park. Definitely a case there where the wind took that ball and pushed that ball out of the field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Top of the second for the Royals. The 2-2 pitch from Sharp. That one's in the dirt, and the runners are going to advance. There will be no throw over to third. So Anthony Eggers, who is courtesy running for Tyler Sivak, he advances to third. Jacob Garcia stayed at first. Full count on Hutchinson. Owen Callahan is on deck if Hutchinson can reach here. Right over the outside corner of the plate, called strike 3. Third out of the inning. So in the top of the second for the Royals, there were no runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on the bases. Middle of the second, there is still no score. Fans, we'd like to remind you that Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophy provides same-day service for all those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. You can follow them also on Facebook and Twitter. If I can get Tony Euler to get his eyes off of that cell phone, I'd like to. I hope he'll come over here and join us for an inning or two. Nothing better than a good diehard Cubs fan. Being having been born and raised in Chicago, it's always good to see a Cub fan from outside of the area. And Tony, welcome to the game. We appreciate you coming over and joining us.
Well, be careful what you ask me because the Cubs are behind 5-0 after one inning, so I'm not in a real good mood.
What if the Millers have been behind 5-0?
Well, that would also put me in a bad mood.
Well, the Millers have done a good job defensively so far, holding the Royals. Royals with 4 hits in this game, and the Miller with no runs to show for it. The Millers are going to bring their 6, 7, and 8 batters up here in the bottom of the second. That'll be Mark Gowdy, Zach Turner, and Cooper Miles. Tony, I've commented a couple times during this broadcast already tonight how marvelous this field looks today. This is fantastic. If I hadn't lived here and didn't know that we'd had 8 inches of rain in southern Hamilton County in the last week, in looking at this field, I never would have guessed we'd had that rain.
Well, there's 2 things. Number 1, this field drains unbelievably because of the tile underneath it. And number 2, we've got a great groundskeeper, Josh Weigel. He does a great job. When I came out at 9 a.m. this morning, there was water standing at home plate, but the rest of the field was playable.
Mm-hmm. First pitch to Mark Gowdy, swing and a foul ball.
So Josh pumped the water out of the home plate area, and, it had 4, 5, 6 hours to dry. It's in great shape.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's looking very, very good. I was telling a couple people when I was driving out here, I noticed that a couple of the farm fields coming out here, the higher areas in the farm field, the wind had already started to dry some of them. I mean, this 20-mile-an-hour wind has just been really, really strong today. Foul back, 1-2 now on Mark Gowdy.
Yeah, there's been some sunshine today, and like you said, the wind. It's really been probably a pretty good drying day.
Yeah. The humidity's been low, and it's had a chance to dry. There was just where I live in Fishers, we had just a little bit of sprinkle this morning. There's a high drive to right field. Jahan Shashi is under it. He makes the play for the first out of the bottom of the second. When that ball left the bat, Tony, I thought that thing might go a little farther than it did. I don't know if that crosswind held it up a little bit or what it did.
Pretty stiff crosswind.
Yeah. I've noticed especially the Noblesville outfielders have been playing very, very much shaded to right field. Zach Turner steps in, takes the first pitch for a ball. Turner 0 for 2 in the first game with a couple strikeouts. Did reach on an error and a walk. Scored 1 run in that 13-3 victory. The 2-0 pitch, called strike 1. Do you miss coaching, Tony?
No, I haven't coached for 14 years.
Mm-hmm. Count evens up at 2-2.
Really, what I miss is when we have rainy seasons, and I miss all the comedy that happens up here in the press box.
And do you instigate some of that?
Most of it.
Always professional.
Oh boy! Swing and a miss. Turner goes down swinging. One of my favorite moments in this press box happened, I can't remember how many years ago, but Bob Tremaine was your public address announcer here for years. And when Steve Hurst was here as the athletic director, his wife was up here, and Bob played the chicken dance. And Bob and Steve's wife were doing the chicken dance up here. And that was, I have never forgotten that. That was, I mean, they were good.
That the chicken dance is kind of Tremaine's theme song.
I can understand that, knowing Bob. Cooper Miles steps in, 0-1.
Cooper's just a freshman. what a future he has ahead of him.
Yes, he does. He's got a lot of playing time so far this year.
Yeah.
A little bit outside, 2 balls and a strike. But it's always a pleasure to come here to Noblesville to do games. You guys are always so generous to us here at whether it was the old days of hometown sports or Hamilton County Television. I mean, you and I did a few games together on hometown sports years ago.
Channel 19, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And
I think a lot of people had cable TV back then so they could get Channel 19.
Yep, they sure did. They sure did. Swinging strikeout. The sides are retired in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors through 2. Still no score. Fans, we'd like to tell you about Wofford Theater. Now, Tony, here's something that you guys might enjoy. Have you ever gone to the classic movies at Forest Park? Got some classic movies coming up for Forest Park on Friday nights, beginning in June. And they got some great movies.
Well, what
coming.
are they?
Well, they're Patch Adams. You remember Patch Adams? Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Yes, great movie. Philadelphia Story, August Rush, Funny Face, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. And that's just June. And they're going to go all through June, all through July, and until August 4th. And coming up at Witten Park and Fishers in Saxony on the 20th, Wofford Theater will be sponsoring Finding Dory. Then June 3rd, it'll be Moana, and on June 17th, it will be Sing. And then don't forget the Noblesville Street Dance at Federal Hill coming up Noblesville on July 8th. When my daughter moved to Noblesville a number of years ago, she said, you got to come up and go to this Noblesville Street Dance, and I had never been to it before. That is quite an event. That was a fun event.
I know that Finding Dory movie, that's Butch Robbins' favorite movie. He talks about it all the time.
Does he? Well, that's good. That's good. I think,
Leading out at the top of the third for the Royals, number 20, Owen Callahan.
Wofford Theater is sponsored by Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Hamilton County TV. For a complete lineup of all the movies and all the comedy that'll be going on, you can check www.woffordtheater.com or call Tony. He'll tell you about all the comedy events coming up here in Noblesville.
Mainly in the Noblesville baseball press box.
Oh, how do we ever get a game in here, Tony?
I don't know.
We have fun, though, don't we?
You should ask Tony about George tanning beds.
George what?
George's tanning beds.
Tanning beds? I don't know if I want to ask him.
Well,
I don't know if we ought to do that or not.
I don't want to get away from the baseball game, but Butch Robbins never goes outside, so he's as white as a ghost. And, I do spend some time outside, so I do get a little bit of a tan.
Aha. Well, you and I are much the same.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't go to the tanning beds.
That was good.
Neither do I.
Owen Callahan leading off the top of the third here for the Royals. A 2-2 count on him. Yeah, we better get back to the ball
We
game.
need to get back to baseball game.
We got to get serious here. Do we get a cover charge for entertaining these folks?
I don't know. We should.
Yeah. We could make some money on this deal. Full count now on Owen Callahan. Callahan had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. There's a high fly ball. Looks like the left fielder Turner is going to come in and get that. It's amazing how that wind is just holding that ball up. That what you think is going to be a medium depth fly ball ends up being a very short one.
Yeah, the shortstop actually could have gotten that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Southeastern, Tyler Jahanshidi.
Well, I can remember in the days I played many, many years ago, and that wasn't before the Cubs won their last World Series, Tony. Yeah, I can remember on playing on days like this that you'd actually have a hard time judging the ball because you would watch the arc going up, and it'd hit that wind and almost come straight down.
Well, and if you look at the sky, there's not a cloud up there, and I think that also affects your depth perception.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, where did you play high school baseball at?
I went to Maine Township High School South in Park Ridge, Illinois.
Park Ridge,
Just
Illinois.
outside of Chicago.
Okay.
Home of the Hawks.
I gotcha.
My junior year, our team went to the state championship for baseball. I was a bench warmer, but I was there.
You were there. You were part of it.
Yeah. Foul ball. Tyler Jahanchishi, the right fielder. It's another one of those plays a little bit earlier that Tyler made out there in right field. When that ball left the bat, I thought that might have the potential of being out of the park.
Yes.
But he got that right at the warning track. Miller's once again playing everybody shaded well over toward right field.
Left field, very shallow.
Yes, extremely shallow and almost straight away, but
Yep.
right and in center are definitely shaded to the right, and Jahanchihi is on with a walk. Brock Burns steps in.
Next up,
Burns had a walk in the first inning.
Burns.
Brock Burns, of course, going to Ball State on a football scholarship.
Be up there with his brother Brendan, who's up there playing baseball. Brendan in his sophomore year up at Ball State. What I understand, he's had a pretty good season this year. I don't have any stats or anything, but doing well for the Cardinals. 0-1 on Burns.
I remember that name. That name was when I was in.
A little bit low. Said earlier, the Royals have got 45 stolen bases as a team. Jahanchihi has got 6 of those. There's a throw over to first. That one gets away, and Jahanchihi is going to end up on at least second base. The ball is all the way down to the bullpen, and Jahanchihi ends up with 2 bases on that. I think that ball bounced into the first baseman
did.
there,
That's
so that's going to be an
E1.
error on the throw
Yep.
to the pitcher. First error of the game for the Millers. The Royals got away with a couple of errors in the first inning. Burns up there with a 1-1 count with a chance to put the Royals ahead here. Swing and a foul ball. Corey Seitz doing a little bit of a tap dance there to get out of the way. Got father and son coaching at third and first.
Yep.
Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, probably.
That one is going to be into the – well, no, it's going to be caught, but it looks like that will probably score
sure
a
will.
run here. That's close, but he is safe. That was a great, throw in by Gowdy, and it really made the play a lot closer than what it looked like it was going to be. But anyway, in any case, the Royals get on the board first here in this game. They're ahead 1-0 now. So there's 2 outs. We're at the top of the third. Designated hitter Grayson Drosty comes up.
Well, the error came back to haunt the Millers there.
Yes, it did.
Gowdy in right field with no base runners just let it loose, and he made a great
Wow.
throw.
What an arm. Of course, he had a great play earlier, earlier in the, was it the last inning or the first inning where he brought one into the cutoff man and got another guy
Yes.
at home too.
Yep.
He has got a good arm. Gowdy, a junior on Justin Keever's squad. There's a well-hit ball to left center field. Looks like the center fielder, Harris Camp, is there. He makes the play for the third out of the inning. So in the top of the third for the Royals, it was 1 run, no hits, 1 error, nobody left on the bases. Royals 1, and Millers, nothing. Tony, we appreciate you coming by and talking to us. And as usual, thank you for your hospitality here. We greatly appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure to come here to Noblesville and be around you guys.
Anytime, Brad. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Fans, Ivy Tech prepares Indiana residents to learn, live, and work in a diverse and competitive environment. To answer any questions on enrolling or general information, visit their website, www.ivytech.edu, or call them 317-921-4300. Tony Euler, athletic director here at Noblesville. Oh, he's got that phone out of it. What's that Cubs score, Tony? Let's hope it's good.
Don't count on it. See, I'll play the heaters on, then I'll play 5 not burning part.
We're moving into the bottom of the third. Millers will bring the 9, 1, and 2 batters up in Coach Justin Keever's batting order. It'll be Harris Camp, Travis Gilliam, and D.J. Owens. Royals with a 1-0 lead over the Millers here in the bottom of the third. Wind doesn't look quite as strong in the flag as it did a little bit earlier, but still a very strong wind blowing across the field.
Bottom of the third for the Millers, number 20, Harris Camp.
Harris Camp is a 200 batter. Struck out, walked, and was hit by a pitch. Scored twice in game 1 to this morning. Swing and a miss evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Rykoff had a little bit of trouble in the first inning. The second inning, 3 up, 3 down. He's well out ahead Harris Camp here with a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Grayson Rykoff. Bring the top of the order for the Millers back up. That's Travis Gilliam. Walked in the first.
Travis Gilliam.
Gillian, a senior member of this squad. After a rather rocky first, Rykoff has really settled down and gotten into a groove. 0-1. Went from the outside corner to the inside corner. Now 0-2 on Gilliam. There's a bouncing ball to the third baseman, Lang, over to first. He's got it. Nice charging play there by Jack Lang. Correction, that's Jacob Garcia. No, I'm sorry, that is Jack Lang at third. Get that right.
Now batting for the Millers, number 13.
2 outs in the bottom of the third. D.J. Owens, a designated hitter, steps in. Swing and a miss. Another strike, 0-2. Rykoff, after that rocky first inning, has been getting ahead of the batters here. The 0-2. There's a well-hit ball into center field. Brock Burns lines it up. He's got it. And the Millers go 1-2-3 in the third inning. For the Millers in the third, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on the bases. At the end of 3, Royals 1, Millers nothing. Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. If you have any questions, contact Community Health 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com. I'd like to remind you that coming up on Tuesday night, Greg Atkins and I will be over at Westfield for the Westfield Fishers girls softball game that will be at 6 o'clock. And also coming up, we will be bringing you the first round of the IHSAA softball sectional. That will be starting on the 22nd of May. 2 weeks from Monday, we'll be bringing you the first two games. Those games will be at Fishers High School this year. So a lot of sports coming up here on Hamilton County Television. Stepping up to the plate for the Royals here in the top of the fourth will be Jacob Daftari, Jack Lang, and Tyler Sivak.
Southeastern, number 12, Jacob Daftari.
Daftari had a base hit in the second inning, was cut down at the plate on an excellent play in a great throw by Mark Gowdy. There's a high pop-up right. First baseman Masterson is going over for it, and he just barely misses it. Just barely out of his reach. Another case probably where the wind might have taken that. So Daftari will live again to get another swing here. Masterson was also getting very, very close to the fence, so I think that may have had a little bit of a play in that. Here's the 0-1 from Sharp. That one bounces in, evens up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner, makes it 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball. Oh, just tipped by the third baseman, Cooper Miles. And unfortunately, that ball was just tipped away from Travis Gillian. So Daftari reaches on, I believe, what will probably be a hit. I don't know if Gillian would have had a play on that. It might have been a close play, but
Next up for the Royals, number 5.
when Miles tipped that, it sent it over to Gillian's left. So the Royals have got a runner on with no outs, and Jack Lang steps to the plate. There's a nice bunt over to the first base side. Sharp fields it. Gets it over to Bryce Masterson for the out. But the sacrifice works, and Daftari is on second base. That'll bring up the catcher, Tyler Sivak. He singled in the first, ended up on third, but did not score. There's a swing and a foul ball. I don't know if that might have hit him in the foot. He's kind of limping a little. Sivak with that bright green bat. Royals coaching staff coming out to take a look at Sivak. Royals are already down one catcher, so they really can't afford to have another catcher go down. 0-1 on Sivak. Runner on second. One out. Top of the fourth. The Royals ahead 1-0. There's a bouncing ball to the third baseman. He bobbles it, holds on to the ball. We'll just have to see how that one is. That one is going to be scored as an error. So Sivak reaches on an E5. That's the second error of the game for the Millers. I think what happened on that one, Cooper Miles had that thing lined up, and I think what he did is he took his eye off the ball to look over to second base to Jacob Daftari, and by the time he got his eye back on the ball, he just misjudged the play, and that brings up the shortstop, Jacob Garcia. He had a hit in the second inning. Little outside. Royals with runners at first and second and one out here in the top of the fourth. That one catches the lower outside corner of the plate to even up the count at 1-1. Temperatures dropped 3 degrees now. It's down to 52 degrees. Wind still out of the northwest at about 20. Getting a little bit cooler. A few more minutes. The entire field will be in shadows. 2 balls and a strike to Jacob Garcia. There's a pop-up on the infield. That is the infield fly rule, so Garcia is out for the second out. That'll bring the top of the order up for the Royals. Dalton Hutchinson, a base hit and a strikeout so far.
Next up for the Royals, number 2, Dalton Hutchinson.
First pitch to Hutchinson. That one is going to go in there for a hit. Going to be a play at the plate. Here's a play from Gowdy. And on the play, Hutchinson ends up on second base. He'll get a base hit in 1 RBI. Jacob Daftari scores on the play. And for the Royals, it looks like Gowdy. Well, Gowdy is injured. I didn't see him. Did he twist an ankle or something coming down when he was throwing? It was a good throw, a very strong throw. Maybe he turned his knee. He is definitely in some pain. And the medical staff for the Millers is out there attending to him right now. Unfortunately, I think Mark Gowdy's day may be over. Let's just hope it's not something serious. Because he definitely threw the ball, and as soon as he threw the ball, he went down, and you could tell just by the way he reacted that he was in a lot of pain. He's getting up now. Kind of bouncing around on the thing a little bit, and hopefully he'll be able to stay in the game.
Just get ready to walk out there, he jumps off.
Running back and forth a little bit. He looks like he's going to be okay.
Maybe he has a substitute knee.
Well, fortunately, what looked like it was going to be a very serious injury to Mark Gowdy appears that he's going to be okay and be able to stay in the game, which is good. We're always glad to see that.
Credit trainer Pete Dewar.
Pete Dewar, the trainer. I don't know what he did to him out there, but he did something to.
He's a healer. Don't tell anyone he's got magic fingers.
You know how those trainers are. They can. They just got a little ways of doing things.
For Hamilton Southeastern, number 20, Owen Cal.
So the situation right now is Anthony Eggers is on third. Dalton Hutchinson is on second. The Royals have got their second run of the game. There's a high pop-up just right behind us. First run of the inning, second hit of the inning. Royals with 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Millers, no runs, no hits, 2 errors. Owen Callahan, 0-1 on him. Hot shot down the right field side. Out of play beyond the Royals bullpen. Callahan in the hole, 0-2. Callahan with a sacrifice and a pop out to left. The 0-2 pitch swung and fouled back. One run, 2 hits, 1 error so far in this inning. The 0-2 pitch. There's a bouncing ball. It's going to be foul. That's one of those plays that the Millers wish would have stayed fair because Bryce Masterson was right there by first base when he fielded that thing and would have had the third out of the inning. But as it is, Owen Callahan lives for another pitch at 0-2. 2 outs, 0-2. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Royals runners on second and third. Callahan just bounces that one right back to the pitcher Sharp, over to first for the out. So in the top of the fourth for the Royals, they do score 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. There were 2 Royals left on the bases. So in the middle of the fourth, it is now Royals 2, Millers nothing. Say from personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim provide the rights of individuals and businesses and schools and government bodies all over the state of Indiana, including at Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or simply visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. Welcome to our broadcast, Hamilton County Television. My name is Brad Silbert. This is IHSAA baseball at its best. One of the best rivalries we have in the state of Indiana, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the Noblesville Millers, playing here tonight at Noblesville. First game went to the Millers 13-3. Third game in this series, now this is a change, will be on Monday night at 6 o'clock, and that will be at Hamilton Southeastern High School. 6 o'clock start on Monday to get the third game of the series in. As we move into the fourth for the Millers, it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 batters in Justin Keever's batting order. That'll be the catcher, Alex Cleverly, the first baseman, Bryce Masterson, and the pitcher, Reese Sharp, all due up here in the top or the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Cleverly is a swing and a miss. Cleverly reached on an error in the first. 1-1. One and two now on the foul ball. Cleverly, one of the seniors in the lineup. 8 seniors on this year's roster. for the Millers. There's a high fly ball. Brock Burns is camping under it there in center field. Makes the play. 1 out.
Next up for the Millers, number 5, Bryce Masterson.
Temperatures dropped to 52, but the wind is still very strong out of the northwest at about 20 miles an hour. First baseman Bryce Masterson takes the first pitch, belt high in the outside corner of the plate for a called strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Rykoff. Right over the plate again, call strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. A little bit outside. Masterson, also a senior, a seasoned veteran who didn't go after that high fastball. The 1-2 pitch. There's one right between first and second. Not quite in time. The field was shifted over there, and the second baseman, Hutchinson, actually made the play, but he was too deep, so Masterson reaches on an infield hit.
Next up for Noblesville.
Second hit of the night for the Millers. Reese Sharp struck out in the first inning. Sharp, a sophomore. 1 ball, no strikes on Reese Sharp. Rykoff keeping an eye on Masterson there at first base. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-0 in favor of the Royals, who are in the bottom of the 4th. Here at Dunker Field in Noblesville. The 1-2 pitch. That one gets through Sivak's legs. That bounced in, so that will be a wild pitch, putting Masterson on second base. Evens a count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch from Rakoff, a little bit inside. That let's say that hit him. So the Millers with an opportunity here. 2 on, 1 out. In running for
the pitcher, Sharp.
will be number 7, A.J. Farber.
Now batting for the Millers, number 3, Mark Gowdy.
Mark Gowdy, who's had a couple nice throws from right field, steps in. Flew out to right in the second. That one's high. Nobody throwing down in the Royals bullpen. There is some action down in the Miller bullpen, though. The 1-0 pitch. A little bit low and outside. 2-0. Grayson Rykoff, after a kind of a little bit of a choppy first inning, sailed right through the second and third. Got the first out here in the fourth, and the last two batters have reached on a base hit and a hit batsman. 3-0 now on Mark Gowdy. Zach Turner on deck. Tyler Sivak goes out. Have a word with his pitcher. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Royals ahead 2-0. Millers are threatening, though. That one's a called strike. Gowdy thought he had a walk there, dropped the bat, and took a step toward first, and home plate umpire signaled strike one. 3-1. 1 out, 2 on. That one is low, so the bases are loaded. 1 out. Masterson on third, A.J. Farber on second, Mark Gowdy on first, and Zach Turner at the plate.
Let's go, Zach.
First pitch to Turner is fouled back to the right field side. Rykoff trying to pitch his way out of a jam here in the bottom of the fourth. There's a strike. 0-2 on Turner. Bases are loaded with Millers. 1 out. 0-2 on Turner. High. Rykoff threw a curveball there that never broke and was at the shoulders of Turner. Strike 3, swing and a miss on the fastball. Second out of the inning. Brings up the third baseman, Cooper Miles. He struck out in the second inning. First pitch to Miles. High and outside. 1-0. Swing and a miss on the high heat. Evens the count at 1-1. That was a hit by pitch. So that will score a run for the Millers, so they get their first run of the game. Now we'll bring up the center fielder, Harris Camp.
Next up for the Millers, number 20, Harris Camp.
Now 2-1 in favor of the Royals. Miller still threatening. Bases are loaded. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. That one's high. Swing and a foul back. Evens the count at 1-1 on the center fielder, Harris Camp. Royal center fielder Brock Burns playing fairly shallow, just shaded a little bit toward left field. Left fielder and right fielder playing just about straight away. Fairly shallow in left, but right fielder Johansson is pretty well back in right field. There's one that gets away. That's going to tie up this game. That one bounced in, and A.J. Farber scores the tying run for the Millers on a wild pitch.
Is that right? Yeah.
That is absolutely correct.
2 outs, a 3-1 count on Harris Camp. Rakoff would like to get this batter out because got the top of the Miller order coming up next. That one's a little bit low. 2 base runners have been hit, or 2 batters have been hit in this inning. 2 walks in this inning, 2 runs, 1 hit. Royal coach Scott Henson out to the mound to talk about it with Grayson Rakoff. These 2 teams will be back at it on Monday evening at Ken Seitz Field in Fishers at Hamilton Southeastern High School. 6 o'clock is the first pitch for that game. Coming up Tuesday night, Craig Adkins and I will be at Westfield for the Westfield Fishers softball game. That will be a 6 o'clock start. Miller's with the top of the order coming up. Travis Gillian with a walk and a ground out. Miller's wanting to take the lead in this game. There's a swing. That one's going to go in there. That's going to score at least 1 run. There's going to be a play at the plate, and it's not in time. And the Millers end up scoring 2 runs. And Travis Gillian will give him a base hit, give him a second on the throw. Scoring on the play is Mark Gowdy and Cooper Miles, and Harris Camp ends up on third base. So the Millers have put 4 runs across here in the bottom of the 4th, and they've only done it with 2 hits.
Next up for the Millers, number 13, D.J. Owens.
D.J. Owens, the 9th batter of the inning. Fourth inning has been a nemesis for the Royals today. They allowed 9 runs in the earlier game today in the 4th inning. They've already allowed 4 in this game. So D.J. Owens grounds to the second baseman, Dalton Hutchinson, who gets over to first for the 3rd out. But in the bottom of the 4th for the Millers, they did score 4 runs and 2 hits. There were no errors, courtesy of 2 walks and 2 hit batsmen. Millers leave 3 on, but they take the lead 4-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Fan Smith Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel, for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer would be our outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith Jewelers is eager to give our customers a memorable, positive experience. Give them a call, 317-773-3383, or visit them online at smithsonthesquare.com. I'd like to welcome all of you to Hamilton County Television, regardless of how you're watching us tonight. If you're watching us on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever way you are watching us tonight, or just on the World Wide Web, we appreciate you being with us tonight, and we appreciate any comments you might have on our game. Our next regularly scheduled broadcast is coming up on Tuesday night. That will be a softball game from Westfield Shamrocks and the Fishers Tigers. Don't forget the first round of the IHSAA softball tournament sectional will be here live on Hamilton County Television. That's coming up beginning May 22nd. In the top of the fifth for the Royals, it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 batters for Coach Scott Hinson. That'll be Tyler Jahanshashi, Brock Burns, and Grayson Drosty. First pitch to Jahanshashi is high and outside for ball 1.
Once you get it. Teaching myself. You get all kinds of crap.
1-1 on Jahanshashi.
Usually, hey, say it once.
2-1.
Well, I think sometimes when you do think about it too much,
That's when you mess up.
Tyler walked and scored in the third inning. A little bit low, 3-1.
Stripes, not blue.
Brock Burns, the center fielder, is on deck.
Thank you, ma'am.
There's a swing and a foul straight back. Works it to a full count. We're in the top of the fifth. Miller's taking the lead 4-2 in this one. Courtesy 4 runs in the bottom of the fourth. That's ball 4 in Jahanshashi, so he is on for the second time tonight. Bring up the center fielder, Brock Burns. Burns had a nice sacrifice bunt and a walk earlier in the game. First pitch to Burns. He bunts. A nice bunt down the third base side. He could beat that out. He does. That was a perfect bunt. If anybody has ever wanted to see a perfect bunt, that was perfectly placed right between the pitcher and the third baseman. And Brock Burns not only does his job of advancing Tyler Jahanshashi, but he also gets a base hit on that one. So that's 2 batters, 2 runners now for the Royals. Coach Justin Keever out to the mound. Have a talk with his Millers. You know, you can watch Hamilton County Television live or on demand on your smart TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, phone, or any device with a YouTube app. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.hctvyoutube.com. Grayson Drosty, the designated hitter, steps up. Flew out to center and bounced out to the third baseman so far in this game. Sharp turns like he's going to throw to third, but throw to second, does not. Tyler Jahanshashi on second, Brock Burns on first. Grayson Drosty at the plate. That one's a little bit low and inside. That wind still coming in very, very strong. And as the sun goes down, it's got to be getting a little bit cooler out there for the guys. Evens a count at 1-1 on a low fastball. The 1-1 pitch. Drosty takes that 1-2. Whatever Coach Keever said to Reese Sharp seems to have worked. He's gotten out ahead of Drosty now at 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Outside. Here's a throwback to second. That one almost went into center field. But the shortstop, Travis Gillian, got over there just in time to grab that ball. Count is even at 2-2. There's no outs. 2 on for the Royals. We are in the top of the 5th. There's one right up the center. That one's going to go through for a hit. Waving him home. Let's see if there's going to be a play at the plate. There is no play at the plate. And we have a runners at first and second. Now on the play, Tyler Jahanshi scores. Grayson Drosty gets a single. Give him second on the throw. Brock Burns ends up at third on the throw, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Jacob Daftari. So for the Royals, it's 2 hits now in the inning. 1 run, 2 hits. Narrow the lead to 1 for the Millers. Daftari had a hit in the last inning and scored. Led off the 4th with a single. No outs, 2 on. The pitch from Sharp, that one's fouled back to the right. Oh and 1. It was a little bit outside. Evens the count at 1-1. One pitch coming to Daftari. That one's outside. 2-1. A walk and 2 hits. 1 run so far in this inning. It's a 4-3 game in favor of the Millers. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2. Daftari is 2 for 2 so far today. There's a high pop-up off to the right, but that's going to be out of play. Right back by our Hamilton County Television production truck. Speaking of production, I'd like to thank producer-director Jim Wofford, camera operators Will and Katie out there tonight, taking in the lovely weather out here. There is one that is going to go into center field, and that is going to score the tying run. So this game is all tied up. 3 hits in a row for the Royals. 2 runs now. We have runners at first and third. Still no outs. And that'll bring up Jack Lang. The Royals with their 9th hit of the game. First pitch to Lang. That one's outside. On the play, Daftari steals second base, so now there's runners at second and third with no outs. Catcher Alex Cleverly going out to chat with Reese Sharp, and at the same time, Jack Lang going down to talk with third base coach. And we're going to have a timeout here, and Justin Keever is coming back to the mound. And I would assume at this point he is probably going to make a pitching change, but we'll just have to. So Reese Sharp is going to the dugout.
Anderson's got it.
Anderson's done. They cut Caesar today. Grant Caesar's done.
Who's got Caesar?
They put him in the minors anymore. He only did that extra number of times.
It looks like Cade Gorman is going to come into the game.
Now pitching for the Millers, number 18, Cade Gorman.
Process started.
Yeah, they had to. They need another pitcher. They brought up Zazinski. Oh, Starlin Castro.
Gorman is a junior.
Hey, Richie. Good.
Gorman is 1-0 on the season. Pitched 8 innings, has allowed 7 hits, no earned runs, struck out 7, walked 2. Right now, this game is still Reese Sharp. If these runs should score and the Royals go ahead and stay ahead, he would pick up the loss.
Really?
Jack Lang at bat for the Royals.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This stuff that I'm gonna be gone for some.
You traveling
You
abroad
on the
this summer,
Shiner?
Rich?
Yeah, they did 20th of June. I get back July 15th.
You quite the world.
Gorman gets the sign from Cleverly. His first pitch. There's a bouncing ball to the second baseman. They'll concede the run at first, or at third, to make the play at first. So the Royals do take the lead now
Okay.
with 3 runs there. Lang
The Royals, number 6, Tyler Seaback.
makes the first out of the game of the inning, and on the play, Jacob Daftari advances to third. Tyler Sivak, the catcher, steps in. A little bit outside for ball 1. So the Royals have scored 3 runs here in the top of the 5th to take a 5-4 lead. Swing and a miss by Sivak. Evens the count at 1-1. Royals with some action in their bullpen. The pitch from Gorman, a little bit outside, fouled back by Sivak. 1-2 is the count. A runner on third, 1 out, 1-2 on Sivak. Another foul ball back, still 1-2. Royals have put 3 runs across so far here in the top of the 5th on 3 hits, also 1 walk in this inning. Sivak calls for time and gets it. Jacob Garcia on deck. The 1-2, bouncing ball to third. Nice fielding job by Miles. Gets over to Maurice Masterson for the out. Second out of the inning. Brings up the shortstop, Jacob Garcia. Garcia was out in the 4th on the infield fly rule. Had a hit in the 2nd. 2 outs, 1 on. Top of the 5th. There's a bouncing ball to third. Miles has got it. Over to Masterson to retire the sides. So in the top of the 5th for the Royals, there were 3 runs and 3 hits. No errors. There was 1 left on the bases. Now, middle of the 5th, score is Royals 5, Millers 4. Due up for the Millers in the bottom of the 5th will be Alex Cleverly, Bryce Masterson, and Cade Gorman. Say, fans, do you know who the official stylists are for old Jim Wofford and Bill Wofford? Yep, none other than Bold and Sassy Salon. They're located in Noblesville. You can call Brenda or Donna for appointments. For an appointment with Brenda, you can call 317-501-0572 or call Donna 931-436-0678. They are located in Noblesville. They are the official stylists for old Jim Wofford and Bill Wofford. Mention our ad that you heard it here on Hamilton County Television, and they will give you 10% off on your next visit. That's the Bold and Sassy Salon in Noblesville. Pitching change for the Royals. Well, we thought it was going to be Rutger Pori, and he is going to the dugout. So we're not sure quite what's happening quite yet. Grayson Rykoff has come back out.
Since he was warming up, does he have to pitch? No.
Rutger Pori had gone to the mound and thrown a couple warm-up pitches. Then Grayson Rykoff came back out, and Rutger Pori went back to the dugout, and we don't have a pitcher out there yet, so we'll just have to see what happens here.
Why do we not have a pitcher? Oh, number 3's back out.
Must see the dismay of number 2.
So now Rutger Pori comes back out, and he does start to warm up. I don't know if there was some confusion there, or maybe Pori had an equipment problem or what, but in any case, Rutger Pori, junior pitcher, is coming in. Rutger Pori is 1-0 on the season, a 2.19 ERA, and he's going to be facing the 3, 4, and 5 batters in the Millers lineup here in the bottom of the 5th.
That was kind of weird.
Should have played a long time. He'll never get through that.
1-0 on Alex Cleverly. There's a hot shot down into the left field corner. Cleverly's probably going to have 2 on that one. So the Millers with a leadoff double to start the bottom of the 5th. Hot shot right down the foul line there in the left field corner. By the time Daftari chased that ball down, Alex Cleverly was standing on second base with a stand-up double. 4th hit of the game for the Millers. Millers scored all 4 of their runs last inning. Bryce Masterson steps in. He's 1 for 1 today with a walk in the 1st, base hit in the 4th. Pory's first pitch to Masterson. Called strike. Threw down to second, but wasn't even close. 0-1 on Masterson.
Abilities are limited at this point when they call me at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Evens the count at 1-1.
I got skills, but not a practice on the transition stuff.
The 1-1 pitch coming from Pory. Timeout is called. No outs, 1 on, 1-1. Alex Cleverly on second represents the tying run for the Millers. High, 2-1. That one's way high and outside. Sivak had to jump up to get that one. Otherwise, that one would have been all the way to the fence. And Cleverly would have been on third base. Second baseman Hutchinson playing about 20 feet beyond the grass in right field. Ball 4. Masterson reaches on a walk. So the first two Millers are aboard.
Now batting for the Millers, number 8, Bryce Randolph.
And Bryce Randolph steps in.
I think I'm going to go monitor the crowd.
Okay.
You have fun.
Randolph is batting in the pace in the slot where the pitcher was. He squares to bunt, misses. Throw down to second.
Was that a strike?
The initial call was that Cleverly was back in time. However, he missed he must have come off the base because the umpire then called him out.
I'm not sure. I couldn't see if he went or
He
not.
may show us.
Okay.
It appeared to me that he initially called him safe, but then it looked like Cleverly must have come off the base with the tag.
What do you call it?
Any way you look at it, Cleverly is out. 2-6 for the first out.
All right, where are we? Come on, show me something, boy. Show me something.
Monitoring
Come on.
down. Sit there.
Show me something.
Too cold out there. You sit
Yeah,
there.
I know.
You sit
I
there.
missed the call.
He's not going to do anything, really. He looked at his counter.
Dang it, he did just look.
One ball. Should be. I didn't see.
I think it's a ball.
I think it's a ball.
I think so too, but he'll show us.
Two.
Next pitch is a ball.
Come on, Blue.
1-1 is the count.
1-1? Okay.
Thanks for.
Yeah, thanks for showing us. I thought Bryce tried to block that.
2-1.
That's too many courtesy runs that have been picked off. Owens that did it twice. Didn't Owens get picked off? Somebody got picked off in the first time.
2-1 on Randolph. That one's high. 3-1. Cleverly led off the inning with a double. Was picked off at second. Bryce Masterson at first. Swing and a miss. Full count now on Bryce Randolph. The 3-2 pitch Ball 4.
Mark, let's go.
Next up for the Millers.
Mark Gowdy steps in, the right fielder. He's flown out to right and walked. Scored the third run last inning for the Millers.
Yeah, that's true.
Inside. One and 0 on Gowdy. That one's high. Rutger Pori having a little bit of control problem tonight. Coach Scott Henson on his way to the mound. The Millers huddling up with their coaching staff over on the third base side. 2-0 on the batter. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. A 5-4 lead for the Royals, but the Millers threatening to either tie this up or go ahead here in the bottom of the 5th. Got to be a tough day for pitchers to try to even get warmed up, and the wind is strong as it is. Although the wind does not appear to be quite as strong now as it was a couple of hours ago when we started this game, but it has definitely cooled off somewhat. Little high, 3-0.
Yeah.
2 walks in a row so far. That's a strike over the lower outside corner of the plate. Royals would like nothing better than to pull a double play here. Millers would like nothing better than to load the bases. That one's inside for ball 4. 3 walks in a row given up by the Royals here in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up the left fielder, Zach Turner. Turner has struck out twice. Another conference on the mound for the Royals. And it looks like we are going to have a pitching change for the Royals. It looks like Zach Boyle is coming in for the Royals.
I think the second baseman is pitching. I could be wrong. 2?
It's pronounced 2 and A. It's actually Chio-I-N-I.
So you got 2 is 7.
Now pitching for Hamilton Southeastern, number 2, Dalton Hutchinson. Whoa. That's a curveball. That's a danger Will Robinson. That's a knee buckler for sophomore. Mini sophomore.
And he's going to hit every batter if he keeps that.
So for the Royals, Dalton Hutchinson comes in to pitch. Zach Boyle goes to second base.
Ball's got some movement on it.
All right, he's some curveball every warm-up.
And he's thrown it in the batter's box 70% of the time.
Take one for the team, baby. You got ice.
Zach Tuanay, who was struck out twice in this game, will be the first batter that Hutchinson will face.
Now batting for Noblesville, number 9, Zach Tuanay.
2-A is struck out swinging twice. There's a strike over the outside corner of the plate. Hutchinson comes into the game with a 1-2 record. 1.17 ERA. 0-2 on 2-A. Fouled back to the right. Swing and a miss.
No, he's out.
He is out.
Okay.
Well, all these stones curveballs.
That's 2 outs.
Next up for the Millers, number
Third baseman Cooper Miles steps in. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Scored one of the 4 runs for the Millers in that inning. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Strike right across the heart of the plate at the knees. The 0-1 pitch from Hutchinson. That one's outside.
Now we didn't even start to go.
Sivak was lucky that ball didn't get by him. That was halfway into the left-handed batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike on Miles. That one's low, 2-1. Three and 1. No place to put him. A walk ties this game up. A line drive right out to Jacob Deftari. That ends the inning. In the 5th, the Millers threaten, but no runs, 1 hit, 3 left on the bases. End of 5. Score remains Royals 5, Millers 4. Fans, let me tell you that there's no job too big or small for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing water, fire, storm, or need mold remediation, or if you're just a homeowner who needs a simple, good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration Service has you covered. Give them a call, 317-776-9942, or visit them online, www.indianarestorationservice.com. Millers with a golden opportunity as we look at their gold uniforms tonight. Here in the bottom of the 5th, but they fail to score. And the Royals still lead this game 5-4.
Now pitching for Noblesville, number 20, Harris Camp.
Harris Camp is now pitching for the Millers. We'll have to see who goes into center field for him. Little difficult to see the numbers on the back of these uniforms with the gold and white numbers. Camp has pitched 8.2 innings, He's 1-0 for the season, a .8081 earned run average. So far, we do not know who is out in center field.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Randolph may have gone out there.
That's a good possibility.
The Royals bring the top of the order up here in the sixth inning.
Number 2, Dalton Hutchinson.
The former second baseman, now pitcher, Dalton Hutchinson steps in. 2 for 3 on the evening. Strikeout and 2 singles. There's a foul ball. I don't think anybody's going to get to that down there in the Royals bullpen. Temperature has dropped to 48 degrees now since the sun is going down. Still a pretty strong northwesterly wind. Miller defense still shading everybody toward right field. The 0-1 pitch from Camp. Outside. Evens it up at 1-1. There's a ball that drops in for a hit into center field. Hutchinson is on base for the third time tonight. Picks up the 10th Royal hit of the game.
Next up for the Royals, number 20, Owen.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Owen Callahan. Callahan with a sacrifice, a fly out, and a bounce out back to the pitcher. Squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, takes the pitch, 1 ball, no strikes. Dalton Hutchinson on first. Another nice bunt right to the pitcher. Camp gets it over to first base. And Callahan is out on the sacrifice. But Hutchinson is at second base in scoring position.
Next up for
Tyler Jahanchik steps in.
Tyler Jahanchik.
2 walks and a strikeout so far in the game tonight.
Bless you.
Fouled off to the right.
Mess it up next time now because you have to feed them all the wrong ones. Okay, we hear you.
Tyler scored 2 of the Royals' runs so far tonight. Curveball way high, evens the count at 1-1. Another high ball. That being a fastball from Harris Camp. 2 balls and a strike. Tyler Jahanchik, the batter. Dalton Hutchinson on second, 1 out. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Evens the count at 2-2. They're going to have, caught Hutchinson leaning. And Camp gets him over at third for the second out.
Okay.
Hutchinson just blew the count there. Two outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a well-hit ball to center field. The center field, who we don't know who it is, makes the play.
Might be Bryce Randolph.
So we'll have to see who that is with the ball coming in there.
3. That's Gowdy, so they moved him from right field.
So Mark Gowdy moved from center or from right to center.
Who's 8? 8 is in right.
Randolph is right.
Yeah.
And we are going to have, let me get the lineup here. Bryce Randolph is now in right field.
Okay, I need to do the inning, don't I? Inning.
And that final out was made by Mark Gowdy.
Yes. Okay.
So we know who's who now. Anyways, in the top of the 6th for the Royals, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on the bases. Middle of the 6th, score remains Royals 5, Millers 4. Millers are going to have the 9, 1, and 2 batters coming up here in the bottom of the 6th. It will be Harris Camp, who is now pitching. Travis Gillian, the shortstop, and the designated hitter, DJ Owens. I'd like to remind you that our next broadcast on Hamilton County Television is coming up on Tuesday night. That will be a softball game between the Westfield Shamrocks as they host the Fishers Tigers. And speaking of softball action, we will have the first round of IHSAA Sectional 8 here on Hamilton County Television. That will be from Fishers, and that is coming up on Monday, May 22nd, 2 weeks from Monday. So for the Millers coming up in the bottom of the 6th, it'll be the pitcher Harris Camp stepping in first. He's walked and struck out so far in this game. That one's high and inside for ball 1. Dalton Hutchinson working his 2nd inning in relief for the Royals. That one's low and outside, 2-0. Hutchinson is one of those pitchers who works very quickly. He gets that ball back, he's set, and he is ready to go. That one's high, 3-0. Millers would like to get some runners on board here and score a couple runs here, score at least 1 or 2, at least get it tied up, or take the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. That's ball 4. So Harris Camp walks on 4 pitches. Brings up the top of the order for the Millers.
Next up for the Millers,
Shortstop Travis Gillian. Gillian's got a walk, a ground out, and a single so far in this game. Throw over to first, back in plenty of time was Camp.
You know what I'm talking about.
I saw that one the other day.
And then Brian got picked up 2nd.
Hutchinson working from the stretch now.
Because I didn't know he took off.
First pitch to Gillian is a strike, 0-1. Nothing real fancy about the way Hutchinson pitches, just throws hard. Throw over to first. Back in time is Harris Camp.
That was a better throw.
Once again, I'd like to thank our great hometown television crew. We got Katie and Will out there tonight. Director, producer Jim Wofford. I think Katie and Will deserve some hazardous duty pay for the coolness that they are experiencing out there this evening. There's a ground ball foul. 0-2 now on Gillian. Hutchinson steps off the mound. Calls for Sevac to come out. They're going to talk it over here. The 0-2 pitch coming to Gillian. Throw over to first. Noblesville dugout urging on their Millers. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul ball. Correction. Count remains 0-2. No outs, one on. Bottom of the sixth. There's a high fly ball to right field. Tyler Jahanshashi is under it. Makes the catch for the first out. The designated hitter, DJ Owens, steps in. 0 for 3 tonight. A strikeout, a fly out, and a ground out. That one's a little bit outside. Ball one. Swing and a miss by Owens. Another throw over to first. Harris Camp is back in time. Camp is not getting a big lead. 2-1 now. Owens a designated hitter tonight. Little outside, 3-1. Catcher Alex Cleverly is on deck. Hot shot right out past Owen Callahan. Ball ends up at third base. We'll have runners at first and third. One out. Owens with a single. Somewhat of a close play at third base, but Harris Camp managed to get in there. So the situation is right now, the Millers down 1 run, need 1 to tie it, 2 to go ahead, 1 out, 2 on. Catcher Alex Cleverly stepping in. Cleverly had a 2-base hit his last time up. Takes the first pitch for strike 1.
Yeah.
The 0-1 pitch, low, evens it up at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch on the way from Hutchinson. Over to first. back in plenty of time. There's a well-hit ball to left field. Jacob Deftari is out there. He's got it. And on the play, Harris Camp ties the game on the sacrifice fly.
I'm good until you tell me what to do.
And then give us a run.
See? I've got it in my head what I need, and then you're like,
That ball was hit all the way to the track, just barely in fair territory. Probably a smart move by Deftari not to challenge the runner at the plate, because if he had, chances are DJ Owens would have been on second base, and that'll bring up first baseman Bryce Masterson. We got a tie game here now in the bottom of the sixth. Outside, ball one.
all night.
And they pitched him outside. Genius. Hey, Mr. Pitcher Man, don't throw it up there, because we got nobody over there. All you have to do is reach out and tap it. Do the Rizzo thing. Just reach out and tap it that way.
Inside, 2-0. Infield for the Royals with a giant shift. Third baseman Jack Lang is playing at shortstop. Second baseman is playing, or the shortstop is playing at second. And Boyle is playing on the outfield grass.
Thing is, if he could hit one, like a high bouncer over the pitcher's head, and the third
The outfield definitely shifted way around to the right for Masterson.
unless the pitcher was really awake.
2-1. That's a strike right belt high. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 on. We're all tied up in the bottom of the sixth here at Dunker Field. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3. He's out. That ends the inning. So Masterson strikes out looking to end the inning. But in the inning for the Millers, the most important thing is they tie this game up with 1 run on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left on. So at the end of 6, we are all tied up at 5-5. Fans, let's talk about prom specials and other things coming up at Yancey's Final Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. They got the best prices around, anywhere from $110 to $155, including everything. Yancey's Apparel, doing business in Noblesville for over 40 years, is now located inside of Noblesville Signs and Banners. Enter the north side door. Call Dan, 317-773-2973. Don't forget, Yancey's, located inside Logan Street Signs and Banners, 1740 North 10th Street in Noblesville. We're moving into the top of the 7th, all tied up at 5-5. Harris Camp back on the mound for the Millers. The Royals will send their 4, 5, and 6 batters up here in the top of the 7th. That'll be Brock Burns, Grayson Drosty, and Jacob Deftari. 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Millers, or for the Royals, rather. 5 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for the Millers. Burns has a walk, a sacrifice, and a base hit. There's a little bounder back to the catcher. Camp fires over to first to Masterson for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. Grayson Drosty steps in, 1 for 3 in the game with a base hit, and scored the last run the Royals scored in the 5th inning.
Next Saturday at this time, I'll be working.
First pitch from Camp to Drosty. Another bouncer back to Camp. Over to first. That one bounced in, and that's going to be an error on the pitcher, Harris Camp. So the Royals reach on an error. He had what looked like it should be a routine play and just hurried the throw a little bit. It bounced in there, and Masterson just could not dig that one out of the ground in order to get the out at first. So the Royals have got the lead run at first base. And that looks like that's number 8, Carter Lohman, is the pinch runner. Hot shot right back to first. That will be a double play. Great job by Harris Camp. That inning involved in all 3 of the runners and all 3 of the outs. So in the middle of the 7th, no runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left on the bases for the Royals. Score is all tied up at 5-5. Do you know who's celebrating 25 years in business? Well, that's Logan Street Signs and Banners. They specialize in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Give them a call, 317-773-7200, or visit their brand-new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com, or follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and also on Twitter. Quite a 7th inning there for the Millers. Harris Camp involved in all 3 of the putouts there. First, a bouncer back to Harris, and he makes the play 1-3. Second, Grayson Drosty, he reached on an error, but then that error was erased with a line drive right back from Jacob Daftari right back to Harris Camp, and Harris managed to double Drosty off the bag to get the 3rd out. So for the Millers, we move into the bottom of the 7th. We got the 5, 6, and 7 batters coming up. Reese Sharp re-enters the game to bat. Sharp started pitching this game. Will not be the pitcher of record, though. .48 degrees right now here in Noblesville. Wind has dropped down to only 15 miles an hour out on the northwest, so it's not quite as windy as it was, but temperatures dropped 7 degrees since this game starts, and my fingers are getting a little bit chilly, as is the rest of the press box crew here. First pitch to Sharp, outside for ball 1. Dalton Hutchinson in his 3rd inning of relief for the Royals. Low, 2-0.
So this was your starting pitcher? You came back in? Okay.
Swing and a miss by Sharp. Makes the count 2-1. That one hits the inside corner for a called strike. 2-2 now on Sharp. The 2-2 pitch from Hutchinson. There's a bouncing ball foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th. Millers just need 1 run to win it.
Probably a warning to their dugout. Yeah, someone's mouth is off.
Well, it's brought on by that other incident.
They've been yelling all game.
Home plate umpire and Justin Keever having a conversation.
Oh, stop. So Brownsburg, IHSAA, Avon, is that what it is?
Apparently the home plate umpire heard something that he didn't care for coming out of the Noblesville dugout. What it was, we do not know. Sharp inside.
That's the first one that's even.
Full count on Reese Sharp. Fouled back. That one caught the home plate umpire in the mask and taking a little bit of time to maybe get a couple cobwebs out there. Bounced right off his mask. Full count. Strike 3 called. Right over the inside corner. And Reese Sharp goes down looking. Right fielder Mark Gowdy, who right now, his arm is the difference in this game. Earlier in the game, he made a beautiful play to catch Jacob Deftari at home plate. Otherwise, this would be a 6-5 game at this point. Strike 1 on Gowdy. Gowdy now playing center field for the Millers. Hutchinson misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball to left field. Deftari is under it. He makes the play for the second out. That'll bring Zach 2-A up. Struck out swinging 3 times so far in this game. 2-A the left fielder. Ball 1.
You're right, because he.
The 1-0 count. That was a little inside. 2-0. Millers have got some action in their bullpen. The Royals have none in theirs. That's low. 3-0 on 2-A. There's a strike right over the heart of the plate. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th, all knotted up at 5 apiece. Here on Saturday Night Baseball on Hamilton County Television. That one's inside, and the Millers have a runner on base.
Yeah.
The winning run is 3 bases away.
Now batting.
Cooper Miles steps in.
22, Cooper Miles.
Struck out, flown out, and been hit by a pitch.
Cooper? I got a couple of those.
Cooper Man.
Except they pronounce it Cooper. I was going to say.
Cooper.
Cooper. Get down.
Get down there.
Yep.
That was pretty close
2-A, takes off with the pitch, steals second base.
That was a ball, correct?
He's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Cooper connected pretty well last time in the left field.
Line drive, right up to left field.
There's a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Miles lined out to Jacob Daftari his last time up in left field. Good catch.
That's a good play.
Jacob Garcia got that ball to Owen Callahan. Callahan dug it out of the dirt. And we're going to go to extra innings. At the end of 7, we're all tied up at 5-5. Fans Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. You can also follow them on Facebook and on Twitter. So the Millers left the go-ahead winning run on second in the bottom of the 7th. The Royals, in the top of the 8th, will bring the 7, 8, and 9 batters in.
Now pitching.
And they will be facing
16, Clay Holsworth.
Clay Holsworth will be the new pitcher for the Millers. Clay Holsworth has pitched 10 and 2/3 innings.
Hamilton Southeastern in the top of the 8th.
1-1 is his record, a 2.23 ERA. First batter he will face will be the third baseman, Jack Lang. Lang bounces that one to the shortstop. Gillian's got it. Over to Masterson at first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Catcher Tyler Sivak steps in. Reached on a base hit in the second, on an error in the 4th.
Tyler Sivak.
Ground out to the third baseman in the 5th. Sivak takes the first pitch a little high and outside for ball 1. That one clips the inside corner of the plate, evens up the count at 1-1.
It's freezing out there.
That one's low and outside. 2 balls and a strike on Tyler Sivak. Shortstop Jacob Garcia is on deck. That one hits the lower outside corner of the plate. Evens count up at 2-2.
How do you get the first out?
Ground ball short. Let's play it first.
Sivak swings, pops that one out to right field. That's going to be in fair foul territory. But Bryce Randolph goes over there to makes the play for the second out. I'll bring up the shortstop, Jacob Garcia.
For Hamilton Southeastern, number
1 for 3.
Garcia.
Grounded out to third base, out on an infield fly. Base hit in the second inning. Garcia takes the first pitch right down the heart of the plate for strike one. That one bounces in, evens up the count at 1-1.
I would have gone.
Millers will have the 9-1-2 batter coming up in the bottom of the eighth.
It's blocking most of the wind.
That one catches the outside corner, makes it 1-2.
Oh, it feels like a sauna in here compared to outside.
It's bad outside.
You have no
I
idea.
was ready to go out there.
I was shivering when I came back.
Yeah, I
The
know.
1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball just beyond the outstretched arms of Cooper Miles. That's going to put Jacob Garcia on first with a base hit. The 11th hit of the game for the Royals. They're back to the top of the order. Dalton Hutchinson stepping in.
Number 2, Dalton Hutchinson.
Hutchinson is 3 for 4 in this game. Did strike out looking in the second inning. Has not scored a run, but has 3 singles. Came into the game batting .404. That'll help his batting average.
Get our asses out of here.
There's a well-hit ball to left center field. That's going to be all the way to the wall, and the Royals are going to score 1 run. And the ball goes into the center field, into between the shortstop and the second baseman, and the third baseman. And Dalton Hutchinson is ending up with, I'm going to give him a triple on that. Oh, we're calling it a hit and an error. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. So on the play, Jacob Garcia scores. Hutchinson is on third base. That will be the 4th error of the game for the Millers. But a well-hit ball.
That came out of nowhere. We had 2 outs.
2 strikes on the guy.
Yeah.
1-0 on Owen Callahan. Callahan hits a high fly ball to left field. This one looks like Zach Tuanay is under it. He grabs it for the third out, but in the inning for the Royals, they do pick up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on the bases. Middle of the 8th, the score is now Royals 6, Millers 5.
Great shoes up for us.
It would be
Celebrating 25 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter. So we've got another change here in this ball game. The Royals have gone back out in front once again with a 1-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th here. For the Millers, they will have the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming up. They'll be facing Dalton Hutchinson, who is on the mound for his 4th inning of relief for the Royals.
Yeah. Well, earlier,
Harris Camp will be the first batter to face Hutchinson.
Leading off the bottom of the eighth for Noblesville, number 20, Garris Hance.
Struck out and walked twice. Scored the last Miller run in the sixth inning. There's a swing and a miss by Camp for strike one. That one's a little bit inside. Evens the count at 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes on Harris Camp.
That wasn't a strike? Right.
Strike 3 swinging. Back to the top of the order for the Millers. Travis Gillian steps in. Gillian is 1 for 3 with a single. Also had a walk. A little low and outside. DJ Owen, the designated hitter, is on deck. Hutchinson grounds that one. Shortstop. Oh, the ball gets around beyond. And the Millers are going to have the tying run on second base. That is going to be an error on the throw. That will be an E6. So the Millers get a break there on the error by Jacob Garcia.
Next up for the Millers.
Unfortunately for the Royals, Owen Callahan could not dig that one out of the dirt. Even if he had, that might have been a very, very close play there at first. But that brings DJ Owens up. He has a single. He's 1 for 4 in the game. There's one right down the first base line, right back to Owen Callahan, and he gets the second out. However, Travis Gillian advances to third.
One bad curveball away.
Yeah, or one wild pitch.
Keep throwing that curveball.
Yeah.
So there's 2 outs. Alex Cleverly, the catcher, steps in. Has a double, a sacrifice, and a fly out. Tying run is 90 feet away for Cleverly. There's a ball to the third baseman, over to first, scooped up, and the Royals will win this game 6-5. So in the bottom of the 8th for the Millers, there was no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on the bases. We'd like to thank you for watching today's broadcast of IHSAA Baseball on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in the business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Wofford Theaters, Movies on the Road, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Ivy Tech, Smith Jewelers, Bold and Sassy Salon, Indiana Restoration, and Yancey's Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. So as it goes down in the books, the Royals win the nightcap of this series, 6-5. Series will move back to Fishers on Monday. It'll be a 6 o'clock first pitch at Ken Seitz Field as the Royals and the Millers will play the rubber game of this match and see who's going to win the series. On behalf of everybody at Hamilton County Television, our producer-director Jim Wofford, our technicians Katie and Will, my name is Brad Silbert. We thank you for watching tonight's game. Good night.